Why did you stay? How many of you said this or thought this when you heard that a woman is in a relationship, in a domestic violence relationship or a violent relationship? What did you do to cause the violence? Maybe he was just drunk. It just happened once. He just hit you and he apologized. He's not going to do it again. Those are the things that we all think sometimes or even say out loud, and we don't know what this 4-word sentence could do to a woman. Why didn't you leave? 4 words could actually change the course of someone either surviving or dying or messing up their whole life because they are so afraid of what others might think about them or say to them. That definitely was me before I became a victim myself, when I was working at the hospital. And we have a woman who will come with black and blue with bruises. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, why didn't you just leave? Why did you stay? Why did you have to take the abuse? Like, just this thought in my mind. I did not say it out loud, but I was thinking it. I never thought, what did you do to cause this? But I shifted the blame to the victim. Why didn't you leave? Instead of me thinking, why did he do this? How can we make it stop and how can we help you? When I became a victim myself, I stayed and I answered that question for myself. Why did I stay? I stayed because I was worried and afraid that how the society is going to look at me. How am I going to be judged as a divorced person? How am I going to be looked at as a failure? I stayed because I thought that I could help that person. I stayed because I start to think and allow others to put ideas on my head that maybe this is a one-time thing. Maybe he didn't mean it. He did apologize the next day, right? He said he's not going to do it again. Yeah? We had a good couple days, and it confused you. You think that if I just stop talking, if I just work more and not come home, this might make it stop. But nothing you can do or say will make someone abuse you or someone stop the abuse if they want to abuse you. There is an example that I use to visualize for others how you can accept changes. And I'm going to use this with this situation. You all know frogs, right? If you put a frog in a hot water, the frog is going to jump. But if you put the frog in a cold water and increase the temperature slowly, their body will adjust to the higher temperature. And then that new high temperature will become their normal. Then after a little bit, you will adjust it again, and their body will get used to the new temperature. And you keep adjusting until it is boiling. And what would the frog do? Stayed. Why did they stay? Because they are comfortable. They did not feel the change. They didn't feel that they are in a situation that is going to cause them to lose their life. They were not aware, simply. They didn't stay because they want to die. When you look at a woman who is staying in a violent situation, she did not stay because she liked the abuse. She didn't stay because, the stereotype that we always hear, maybe she's not financially stable, maybe she's doing things to irritate that person. They stay because they get that adjustment slowly. They don't feel that change. It starts with telling you what to wear. Start by cutting people around you who can see and can direct you. It starts by making you feel you're not worthy, messing up with your self-esteem, keep telling you day in and day out that you are not good. You're not good enough. You are not going to find someone who will love you. You keep hearing this, and slowly you adjust, and you become isolated from the people around you. You're not allowed to be outside. You don't know how to survive. Some will stop you, prevent you from going to school and furthering your education, or asking you to stop working. And they might say it in a good way. How good, you ask? I love you, and I don't like how people are looking at you. I'm jealous because I love you. Those clothes, they flatter your body. Your friends, they look at me differently. They are not good. So it starts with things that to make you think that they're doing those bad things for the good reason, because they love you. They want to protect you. They don't want you to be around bad people. All you need is me. You don't need your family. Your family are trying to break us up. You'll hear, and I'm sure if any one of you talk to a survivor or they were a victim themselves, they will probably heard one of those lines, because it's the same line that they use. So you become, comfortable, just like that frog, with the heat until it escalates to the point that you will lose your life. You will either leave for good or leave in a body bag. You will not feel that you are sitting in a very hot, boiling water or a boiling environment, because you are being trained to accept the beat, to listen to the insult, the verbal abuse, the emotional abuse, the financial abuse, the isolation, to the point that you now feel like no one else truly is going to care about you or love you. And you are already invested too much time in this relationship, and you're going to make it work. And then what do you hear? If you did not respond to me, I wouldn't hit you. And that's the blame shifting. So in the back of your mind, you start to try to change who you are. You start to watch what you say, watch what you wear. And at some point, you don't go out at all, because when you go out with your friends, you are going to hear it. So to prevent this, you're just going to stay home. And at some point, won't be enough for the abuser. An abuser is not going to change, and that's not because therapy doesn't work. But in order for you to actually benefit from any therapy, you have to be open to it. You have to accept, and you have to willingly go and admit to your wrongdoing. And I don't see many of abusers will do that voluntarily. And after you heard my own story, you have a homework to do. Now, and when you go home, just start thinking. And every time you see a woman or you hear from a woman who's crying for help, and I'm saying women, that doesn't mean men don't get abused, but the majority of the domestic violence victims are women, and that's a topic for another day, why men don't come and report the abuse. But for now, what is our role? So what do you guys think your role should be? Besides changing our way of thinking, watching what we say and how we say it, believing the victim. That's one of the most important things. Believe the victim. And I'm not saying just blindly believe the victims, because there are women abusers, and there are women who will take advantage and just say things. But I don't think anyone who will put their mind and attention and focus and try to hear and see and use your judgment, you'll be able to ignore the signs. You will know when a woman is abused. And another thing that I hear all the time is, oh, he is someone that everyone loves, and we never see him or her hurting another person. No one is going to hurt, hit, abuse someone in front of an audience. I mean, some do, but the most majority, they do it behind closed doors. So that person who is nice to everyone, who is like kind, and you look at them and they never hurt anyone when you guys are together, that person might be an abuser behind closed doors. And if his wife, his girlfriend, the person who live with him will come and tell you he's abusing me, don't question it. Believe the victim. Don't victimize them again, because now it is not just the abuser's job, it is your job. It is something that you do to make them stay. And we do make victims stay, because the judgment from the community, the judgment from the society, the judgment from their family could force them to stay. If I am going to face abuse outside of the house and inside of the house, I will choose my comfort zone. And that's why a lot of women stay. So next time when you have that question in your mind, when someone comes to you and say, I've been a victim of domestic violence, don't ask them, why did you stay? Don't ask them, why did you stay? Don't ask them, what did you do to cause the violence? And don't say, he's such a nice person. Maybe this is a one-time thing. Just sit and listen. Sometimes sitting and listening is enough for someone to open up, and it could save someone's life.